everyone! Welcome to another week full of learning. I have been having a great time with this new distance learning format. I hope you have as well. We are going to be focusing on the caste system today with ancient India. So what we're going to do is we are going to be going through this worksheet right here. I put it in the lesson plans already. And it's right here. Read the caste system worksheet and answer these questions. So we're going to go through these. We are not going to look at the answer key yet. We're going to focus first on reading this caste system worksheet, okay? So you can either follow along with me, or if you want to, you can just read independently. It's up to you. But just for those of you who want to read along with me, I'm going to read this out loud, just like how we kind of do in class. If you can print it out, go for it. You can annotate, close read it. If you can't print it out, maybe you don't have a printer, that's fine. You can just follow along on here and just make sure that you are really using your brain and thinking while we're reading the words. So here we go. The caste system, ancient India. The Aryans, a group of warrior nomads from the north, settled in the Indus River Valley around the same time the Harappan civilization began to decline. They brought with them many ideas and ways of life that would have a great effect on the people of the Indian subcontinent for thousands of years. One of those ideas was the caste system, a strict social structure that determines every person's role and position in society. This caste system has developed over time and still exists today. So sometimes when we learn about ancient civilizations, we kind of think like, oh, that happened a long time ago, who cares? But this actually still exists in the civilization in today's time. So this right here, this is the caste system. The caste system was made up of four main castes. Think of it kind of like categories. In order of importance, they were the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaisyas, and Sudras. All people outside of the caste system were known as the untouchables, the lowest class of people in this society. So this is the pyramid. So if you look at this, it's a great visual aid because as you can see, the bottom part, the lowest part, are the untouchables. And the reason why this is the largest size is because most of the people were actually in this category. And as you can see, as we get towards the top, it gets narrower and narrower. So the Brahmins were at the top, but that was the least amount of people. Each caste had a strict set of guidelines and standards to live by. This system determined who a person could spend time with, who they were allowed to marry, where they would live, and what kind of job they would have. A person's caste was determined at birth by the caste of their parents and was to last a lifetime. So if you were born into the Sudras caste, you were stuck there. You could not work your way up and you could not drop down. So it was really unfortunate for the untouchables. You know, no matter how hard those people worked, even if they were really good people, they were still in that category, so they were very limited. The Brahmins were the smallest caste, but also the group with the most power. Members of this caste were religious priests, scholars, and judges. They were the only people that could perform religious ceremonies, and they spent much of their time in seclusion, away from others, reading the holy books known as the Vedas. They were the only group thought to understand Dharma, which is the spiritual laws of the universe. So these were people with the highest respect and highest regard from the community that they lived in. Okay. The Kshatriyas were the rulers and warriors. They ruled the cities and towns of the Indus Valley by making laws and settling disputes. However, the Brahmins were able to overrule any of their decisions or decrees. Okay, so next one, we're on the Vaisyas. The Vaisyas were made up of skilled craftsmen, farmers, and merchants. Despite being the third caste, they were a respected part of society. They were able to take part in their village governments and had enough resources to obtain decent housing and enough food to eat. So they still lived a comfortable lifestyle. So think of it kind of like in our day and age, middle class. You know, middle class people in the United States, they live comfortably. They're not throwing money around everywhere, but at the same time, they're not, scraping for pennies. They're comfortable. The Sudras were made up of unskilled workers. They were known for doing hard work and manual labor. They had no rights and mostly lived a life of poverty. This was the largest and poorest caste. Okay, so keep in mind that these four categories, the ones in blue, those are castes. Untouchables, they weren't even considered to be in a caste, and we're going to go over that right now. So that's what it means right here where it says this was the largest and poorest caste. It's because it's just considering the blue shaded parts. The people who did not belong to any caste were known as the untouchables. They were the outcasts of society and lived away from all the caste members, for it was believed that even the sight of them could make a person dirty. In fact, at one time, they had to attach brooms to their backs so that their dirty footprints would be wiped away as they moved around. So sad, huh? They did all the dirty jobs the caste members didn't want to do. Some examples would be picking up trash, dealing with the dead, cleaning the sewers, and sweeping the streets. Sometimes they were forced to work during the night so they would not be seen by caste members. Unfortunately, they were treated very poorly and lived a difficult life. So it was very, very sad living conditions that these people had to survive in. I mean, the fact that they had to carry brooms on their backs, like that's really awful just because they were in this category. I can't even say caste because this wasn't even considered a caste. They were in that category, and literally they're called untouchables because people didn't even want to look at them because they were afraid that they would be like tainted or something. Okay, so that's just a brief overview of the caste system in ancient India. Your textbook goes into detail as well, so if you want to learn more about it, go ahead and turn to lesson 1, and it will be in your textbook. But I felt like that was a really good summary of what the caste system is. So now what you're going to do is you're going to answer these questions. All of the answers are in the reading that we just did. For number 12, where it says essay question, you do not need to write an essay. A small paragraph is fine. Okay, so it says, imagine you were born into the Kshatriya or Brahmin caste. As someone with the power to change laws, would you make any changes to the caste system? Why or why not, and what changes would you make? So make sure that in your short paragraph that you answer these questions. You don't just say, oh, I would make changes, and then move on. Or, oh, I wouldn't make changes, and then move on. You got to make sure that you are actually doing a full developed paragraph, okay? So you can write these answers on a separate piece of paper. You can also type this out in a Google document. That's fine. I'm okay if you share it with me or you can email it to me. Either one is fine. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll see you in my next lesson.